All right, so it looks like you guys read this. Did everybody see this?
No.
Is that what you guys want to talk about, or you want to talk about something else? Is there anything that's pressing anybody that they really, want some clarity on? We can do that first. Anyone? We're all friends here, right? No?
What do you want to
Is that
do?
a yes or is that a no?
I don't know.
That's an I don't know. So that's a yes and a no. You do know.
How do you make somebody talk?
How do you make somebody talk?
Yeah.
Like in a communicative ways, which.
Yes.
How do you make someone communicate with you? It's very tricky. And the reason it's very tricky is the only way you're actually going to get someone to communicate with you is you have to be blatantly honest with them.
I am.
Blatantly?
Hello. Am I? Blatantly?
It's easy to get somebody to talk.
It's easy to get anyone to talk. Talking can go on and on and on and on and nothing happening. No juice flowing, no knowledge being exchanged, nothing. I mean, talk goes on and on and on. Anyone can do it. What she's asking about is actual communication, where there's not the front, right? There's not the person you're presenting all the time. When that's not there, when there's actually being to be, that kind of a connection. And especially when you're like in an intimate relationship, without that, you don't have an intimate relationship. I mean, you can get as naked as you want. There's no intimacy there. And that, I mean, really, a lot of people suffer from that. Most of the people I see that are in relationships have that going on. The intimacy is purely physical. The actual knowing and accepting and loving the being that's streaming out, wow, it's a little different. And that's, to me, that's where the honesty's at. I've had the same situation in my life for sure. How do you get someone to communicate? You show them how it affects you, right? And if they don't listen and they still don't want to communicate, at a certain point you're going to have to accept, what's yours in that. Why do you need it so bad? That's why we want someone else to really be there. Because inevitably, when say you don't get the feedback you want, why do you need it? Why do you need that attention? Why do you need this person in the sea of people out there to accept you and to listen to you and to communicate with you? Some are very incapable of that, right? Some are completely terrified of that. And if you're speaking about a man, they're terrified of communication. They have no idea what it is you want to know. And so a lot of them will clam up. They won't even take the chance, the risk, to go into their own being and go, well, and let their feelings out.
You think men are worse than women?
At letting out their feelings?
Nah.
Yeah.
No?
My experience has always been that men are more communicative. Okay, where women seem to, like, when they get upset, they...
Are you kidding me? Really? You're kidding me, right?
No!
You're thinking about yourself, Mark.
No.
Thinking about yourself.
Are you talking about you?
No, I've always noticed that women, when they get upset, they get quiet, kind of like the silent treatment.
When women get upset, that is communication. I mean, you're feeling it. You feel it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when they're quiet and upset, you definitely know they're upset, don't you?
Yeah.
And there is no question about how upset they are, is there?
Yeah, but then when you ask them what's wrong, then the hand goes up or whatever. They don't want to talk. Say, hey, babe, what's up? What's the matter? Speak to me. Let me know what I did wrong.
You're supposed to know that stuff.
Oh, like the psychic thing.
Yeah, you're supposed to know that
What
stuff.
are you doing, idiot?
To me, you know, for me, it's always, I've always had an easier time with women than men ever.
Well, I get along great with women, but I'm just saying, my experience over the years has been that women clam up when they get upset.
Well, that's because they're just taking that time to think about what their emotions are. I think they're more of an internal heart feeling. They can go two ways. They can get really wrapped up in it, or they can take it and calm it down. I think, you know, women are very emotional people, yes, because they deal with a lot of emotions.
Well, that,
But we take time to not blow up, because we know that it's gonna bite us if we do. You know, I believe, I don't know what I'm trying to get at, like, not.
no, I can totally understand it.
A woman has more empathy, I guess.
A woman has basically a woman has a womb, right?
Huh?
A woman has a womb.
Right.
Right.
Right? And you know, that is a huge energetic advantage. Right? They know motherhood. Even the ones that don't have kids, it's in them. Because they were born from somebody. Right? And you always get that kind of residue, experiential residue through that. You always will. Right? So they have a different sense about things. Men are more quick to just see. Here's the problem that I think, you know, what Mark's talking about. If a man prods a woman about what's wrong, she's gonna clam up. He needs to take that time to realize maybe his own behavior, while the woman takes the time to process the energetic of the situation. A man looks at it very rationally, very cut and dried, like with a ruler kind of a thing. To where a woman takes the energy of the situation and churns that around.
And lets it manifest.
Right. Some are not so good at it, and some are very good at it. Some let it manifest in like pots and pans flying across the room. It does happen.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I had a great relationship with my wife. We
Absolutely.
communicated great. I mean, that was the whole...
But it's the male drive to want to deal with it right now, right now. Why can't you get over it right now? Right? Because that's how men function. I mean, you have the male running around inside of you.
See, I figured it out when I was with my wife. If she got upset about something, I'd just leave the house. She said I didn't fight fair.
She didn't fight fair.
She said I didn't fight. I mean, like, I guess I didn't stick around to fight. I don't want to get into a fight. You know, I wanted to...
But you know what? To be a real man, to be
But then
absolutely...
I would come back and give them their space. Women always want that space, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's your perspective.
Okay? No, they'll tell you that. When they get like that, they want space.
Well, you think you might be misinterpreting it, especially when she tells you not fighting fair because you don't stick around.
No, she used to joke when she said that. That was when we were not fighting. She used to say that she always felt like she was the one that was wanting to fight and I didn't want to fight. But it worked out great. I mean, you know, we had a great relationship.
See, I don't know. You know,
But we communicated very well. But there was times, you see, most of the time it had nothing to do with me. So I would give her space. Hey, when you're raising 3 teenage sons at the time, it's got to do with the kids, you see? And mothers react different with their kids than fathers do. It's a whole totally different relationship.
You should see the look on these women's faces.
You
really should. You should see the look on their
Sometimes
faces.
it hurts to hear the truth.
Your truth, maybe.
Oh,
No.
see, you're good, dude. You got a room full of women. I'm just watching now. This is fun.
Definitely. I mean,
Get them, girls. Get them.
You don't think
You have every right
you don't
to.
think that mothers have a different relationship with their sons or daughters than the fathers do?
Of course
Of
you do.
course.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. And you see, a mother is more apt to be more hurt by the actions of a loved one than a man is or a father.
Depends on the person.
Yeah, but in most cases, because that child comes from the womb of the mother, okay? That's why it affects